FY27. 1 minute. Yeah. Sorry, I wanted to start recording. Yeah. So, 1Q FY 2026-27 post-census conference call hosted by 361 Capital Market Research. From Vst Tillers Ltd Management, we have with us today Mr. Vt Ravindra, Managing Director, Mr. Rikara, Chief Executive Officer, and Mr. Nitin Agarwal, Chief Financial Officer. At this point, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for to ask questions after the management presentation and opening remarks. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you to the Q1 analyst call. This is the agenda item which we'll discuss today. I'll give you a brief overview of the macroeconomic situation, our sales volume for the quarter, and then briefly I'll touch upon the financial performance. After this, we will open up for the question and answers. So on a macroeconomic situation, as you all know, there's an uneven monsoon. Below the outlook has been below normal monsoon by the IMD, and also the rainfall distribution continues to be uneven. We also have commodity cost inflation related trend for all steel, forging, casting, aluminium, copper. Natural rubber also prices of natural rubber also remain elevated and volatile. Due to the geopolitical and supply chain related disruption, crude and freight costs remain high. So on this backdrop, I will first touch upon the volumes for the key products. So I'm happy to mention that during the quarter, the power tiller business has grown to roughly 18% of growth in terms of volume. Also, our domestic tractor business has grown by 4.5%. However, in case of tractor, in the current quarter, we have sold 275 tractors. Power weeder has recorded an impressive growth of 56%. Reaper is a seasonal product, and in the coming Q2, the volumes will pick up for when the harvesting season comes. Now I go to the overview of the financial performance. So the revenue for the current quarter is 313.4 crore over 282.4 crore for the same quarter last year, which is a 11% growth. Operational EBITDA, where we exclude the other income and fair value gain from the EBITDA, is standing at 12.85%. In terms of rupees crore, it is 40.3 crore. Last year, same period, it was 13.3%. So there is a drop of around 45 basis point. This is largely due to the raw material cost due to the inflationary trend. That has been largely the reason for impact. Our PAT is for the quarter is 48.7 crore, which was 44.6 crore in the same period last year. Yeah, so with this remark, I open the floor for question and answers.
Thank you, sir. We will now begin the question open for question and answers. Anybody wants to ask a question, please raise your hand. I will unmute and you can ask your questions. Otherwise, you can type it in the chat box, the questions. Question queue assembles. I will ask for, what is the broad outlook as of now for FY27, sir? How do you are seeing that?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Before I go to the broader outlook of FY27, let me share a view on what has transpired so far and how we look at H1. The monsoon so far has been normal in the sense that the sowing is almost the same as the last year, except oil seeds, and that too in some areas. So the outlook is good, but the next 15 to 20 days is going to be critical because the standing crops have to survive, and I believe that will decide uh, the production from the kharif crop, and it will also decide the water table levels that will be required, or the moisture content that will be required for the rabi crop. So next 20 days for survival of crops and balance of the monsoon for the water table for the rabi crop is going to be critical. So as of now, the outlook till September looks positive. Now, an outlook for the balance H2 will be based on what I just said, that the monsoon should play out the way it has done so far. So for giving an FY27 outlook, I think it's a little too early. I would say I will be able to comment on that in another month's time. I think that will be more accurate, because right now it will be pure speculation.
Okay, sir. Then on the tractor, we have, launched a product with the Zetar tie-ups, but still we are not able to see some big traction. So can you just update what is happening on the tractor sector for us, sir?
Yeah, on the tractor front, we have launched the new variant. The production ramp up is happening, and in Q1 we have not been able to fully supply to the demand that was there. So the numbers look small, so that I would say would have been better if the production would have been ramped up. So Q2 you will find that growing again, and Q3, Q4 substantial volume increase we are expecting. However, this is a long journey, and the 40 to 50 HP segment is a crowded market. It's a very competitive scenario, but we are in for the long haul. We are planning many more variants in this segment to be launched in the next 12 to 18 months. So we are very positive on growing this segment in the higher horsepower tractor space.
Okay, sir. Okay. Anybody has a question, please raise your hand. In the meantime, Mr. Shreyans, you can unmute and ask your question.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Sharon.
Hi. So I had a couple of questions. So one was on the tractors. I did notice that there's like a launch of the Phantom series also, along with Zetor. So the tractor industry has been growing. Like if we see results for our competitors, they've been growing quite well, but we are not even able to keep up with the market. I understand that the growth also comes from the higher horsepower, which we're not very present in. But at this point, I would believe that we also have the numbers for July, which have also been quite flat. So just trying to get some sense on what the competition is, and even Escort's Kubota is launching a tractor in the Kubota brand now. So how do you see that shaping up, and what's our strategy to increase our sales there?
Yeah, so our strategy has been consistent in terms of increasing coverage, going to the northern markets, increasing in the network there, launching of products. In the next 3 years, we are talking about launching more than 30 variants of tractors, various products that we will be launching in the next 3 years. Like I said, this is going to be a long haul. We will grow every year consistently. And I have last call also in the last quarter, I have said upwards of 15,000 numbers we will aim to reach, close to 20,000 numbers we will aim to reach in FY30. And I am pretty sure that we will do that. And with all the launches, all the product launches that we are doing now, for example, the Phantom series, currently we launched only in one state, which is in Gujarat last quarter. Now we are launching in Maharashtra this quarter. So we will be launching in balance rest of the states going into Q2 further. So that will give us launch. The VZ tractor production is getting ramped up. That will also start giving us the volumes. So we are confident on the domestic growth. We are also confident that in the international markets things will stabilize. Today there is a uncertain scenario which causes various issues, including logistics issues. So we have been facing that in the last couple of years. This year is no different, and but we feel that with all the product platforms, which are going to be global platforms, we should be able to grow the international business as well. So overall, like in the next 3 to 4 years, you will see us achieving the numbers that I've already in the previous calls also stated, upwards of 20,000, upwards of 5-6,000 in the international market. These numbers will be achieved in the tractor business, while the SFM business will continue the very strong growth that it is showing, upwards of 56% in power weeders, upwards of 18% in power tillers. That will continue, and I think both the businesses will grow in tandem, but the competitive scenarios of the tractors and the tillers are very different. Tillers is about creating a market, which we are successfully doing. In tractors, we competing in acquiring market, and acquiring market needs product portfolio. That's what we are building, and that will give us the result in the next 3 years time.
That's very helpful, sir. Are we looking to have any launches this year in the international markets, or that's going to be later?
Yes,
Because
in the international market, I mean, more than the product launch per se, what we need to solve first is the logistics problem that the distributors are facing, which I have briefed you, I think, the
yeah.
previous call as well.
Mhm.
To cut down the supply time to the distributors, and that's what we are working on. So the infrastructure, we wanted it to be ready this quarter, but it's getting slightly delayed. But we are towards the end of it. In Q3 it will become operational. So that should give us a big advantage, especially for the distributors, so that they can rotate their inventory faster. So, and apart from that, of course, we have launched the 35 horsepower last year, stage 5 35 horsepower last year. We also have sent to a couple of markets the 39 horsepower in the European market. We have also getting into hydrostatic transmissions. We are seeding hydrostatic transmissions currently, which is not sold in India, but this is specifically meant for the export market. And considerable volume growth is expected from the hydrostatic transmission. And after 12 months, we also have the platform A, platform B, platform C, that we have already announced that we'll be launching 3 global platforms, which will be launched in the next 12 months to 36 months, one platform by one platform. So a lot of launches both internationally as well as in the domestic market.
Got it. Thank you, sir. That's very helpful. So, second question was on the tiller side, on the financing. So, at this, we were going to do like additional partnerships. So, anything to call out? I
Yes,
know we had one with Bajaj Finance. So, any
yes.
could
Bajaj
give.
Finance, I'm very happy to say this that's doing well this year. The volume has gone up in terms of retail financing. We have, I think, financed more than close to 1,000 tractors in Q1. I think around 963. Just a
Yeah.
second, I'll just pull out the exact number. It's close to 1,000 uh, compared to just about 400 odd numbers we did Q1 of last year. So it is almost double. However, our business has also grown, so the percentage is at around 8 to 9% of retail. We wanted to grow it to about 15 to 20% this year. So that continuous work is happening. The good thing is Bajaj Finance is taking off.
Got it. That's very helpful. So, any additional partnerships that we are looking at to penetrate this further, or this would be good enough for us?
So continuous work is going on that. We have several partnerships right now. One is Chola, one is TBS, one is Bajaj, apart from the banks, nationalized banks. So we have sufficient partnership. I think the key today is to grow the current partnerships that we have in terms of getting it financed. So I'm sure that will give us reasonable growth, and we will look at regionally if any specific financial support is required for growing business in that particular region.
Got it. So last question was on the, maybe a future thing. So are we at any point looking at tiller exports, or is just not competitive with China, with in the other countries like neighboring regions where tillers are used?
We are exporting currently, but in very small numbers. Last year we did around 300 odd numbers of exports. Oh, that's why I said it's very small currently, but we believe there is a good opportunity in terms of a reconfigured pillar that can be sold in the European market. Work is going on that, and it will be a completely new technology in terms of tiller, which will be launched both in the Indian market as well as internationally. One is this will be a geared tractor, geared tiller compared to a belt-driven tiller today. It will have differential. These features are not available on current tillers. So it will be a tiller which can give us good growth in the international market. That is number one. Number two, we are also looking at EV, that is electric tillers and weeders, which we believe will have a market internationally as well.
Got it. So anything on the African market? I read that the market for tiller.
Africa, I'm very happy to state that we have we have started sending our 75 horsepower tractor that we developed, which we said we are developing last time we were on the call. But now we have seeded that into the African market, and we are very hopeful that that will give us a good standing in the African market. But lots of work to be done in the African market. We need multiple nodes there, 60 horsepower, 72 horsepower that we have now, and we will have to work on it continuously. And we believe that's a future growth market for us, especially on the higher horsepower tractors.
Got it. That's all from my end. Thank you so much. All the best.
Thanks, Shreyans. If anybody has a question, please raise your hand. Meantime, Mr. Manish Joshi, you can unmute and ask your question.
Hello. Hi. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Good.
Thank you for the opportunity. So I just wanted to know, we have seen a decline in July volumes year on year, despite strong 1Q weakness in July. Can you address this, sir?
Yeah,
Are you
July
seeing any
last
moderation
year.
in demand? Yeah.
Yeah, July last year had a very large base, uh, and especially on the tiller volumes. And there is I would like to reiterate, there is no issue on demand in tillers, and we expect the growth to continue at least till September. And that's what the outlook I gave in the beginning. That at least till September, I see the industry doesn't have a problem with the monsoon or the rainfall so far. But the key issue is going to be the Kharif output and the Rabi crop sowing that will happen, and that all depends on the next 20 days rainfall for the first part, and the remaining of the monsoon, how it will play out for the Rabi crop. So other than that, I believe that the tiller volume will continue to grow at the pace we are growing. We are clocking anywhere between 16 to 20% for the last few quarters now. That will continue. The power beta segment, we have been clocking 50 to 60% growth for the last several quarters now. That will continue. So I don't see any issues there. Now the tractor volumes, as I said, is to be done by acquiring market share, and that will be done by building a product portfolio that is in the works. So you will you will see us growing gradually quarter on quarter.
Yes, sir. Thank you. That was helpful. I have another question on the broader mechanization upcycle, or any thoughts on that, sir? Especially in the tiller segment, will that be, will be able to help smaller and marginal farmer segment? Uh, how do you
Yes,
think
I
on that, sir?
agree with you. I mean, this small and marginal farmer segment is huge, and I have said before that we will be launching many innovations in this segment, and very happy to state that we are ready with our product between tiller and tractors that I have been talking about for a long time. And the first of those products will roll out of the factory from this month onwards, and we should be able to do substantial volume in Q3 and Q4 on those products.
Thanks for that, sir. No more questions from my side. Thank you.
Okay. Sir, before somebody joins on the queue, you said there is a mid product now we are developing. How, I mean, cost-wise, I mean, how it will be, how much premium to the tillers, and what will be the advantages in the compared to tiller in that product, sir?
Yeah, the price of the product will be very close to the tiller, but the work of the product will be very close to the tractor.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay. So, but already it's a, I mean, globally it's established product, sir. I mean, this water product we are
No.
talking
This is an innovation, Mr. Jairaj, that this will be one of its kind product that we'll be bringing into the market. This is an innovation from the VST R&D Center.
I see. Okay, we'll wait for the product, sir. I will, before somebody joins on the queue, I'll read some from the question box, sir. Somebody has given some questions. 1 minute, sir. I'm just reading from the chat box, sir. What is the capital allocation policy since I see significant capital being deployed in low yielding mutual funds and equity shares? These are not in the long term interest of the shareholders. Unless the capital is deployed in the business eventually. So basically, any update on the sale of the non-core assets? There are two questions, sir. One is the investments on that. Second one is on non-core assets. Basically, I think they're talking about the land.
Understood. So I think let me answer the first one. The policy is very clear to maximize shareholder value. That's very clear. That means that the deployment of the capital that we have should be done strategically, and we are exploring several opportunities for deploying that capital. Hopefully in the next 18 to 24 months, we should have some good deployment of this capital. Coming to the non-core assets, as of now, there is no development on
it. Okay, sir. Sir, then this next emission norm is coming up. TREM 3A from, I think, April 28 and TREM 5 from 32. As of now, that are the dates announced, I think. So, what will be the implication? First, the 3A, which is coming up in maybe in 1.5 years' time.
Yeah.
Will it have any major implication for our products, sir?
See, there are 3 stages in which the norms, emission norms are being implemented. First of which is from October 26. Stage 5 for all products less than 25 horsepower. Whether both the tillers as well as tractors, and VST is fully prepared for it and completely ready for it. Then the next implementation is TREM 3AA from April 28, which also VST will be fully prepared. We have full capability to achieve that. And after that, the complete range of tractors will move to stage 5 as per the current notification in 2032. And we will be ready for that as well. Already work on all the fronts are, some of it is already completed, which is October 26 is already completed and moving into production. And as far as April 28 and October 26 is, October 32, April 32 is concerned, we will be fully ready for it.
And what can be any major changes, or what can be the cost implication broadly?
Yeah,
not numbers.
Major cost implication will come when every tractor moves to stage 5 in 2032. When the DOC, DPF, everything will have to be implemented. and then there will be a cost implication at that time. See, if the current cost of that technology on the tractor is about 25-30% of it will go up, but that is the current cost. How technology will evolve, how costly or cheaper will that be in 2032 is difficult for me to say at this point in time. But currently, that technology will cost you about 25-30%. But the normal trend is with time, this technology starts costing lower because the volume starts keep climbing across the globe.
Okay. And this whatever the 26 now it's coming up, no, that less than 25 HP, that will be applicable for tillers also, sir.
Yes, yes.
Okay, but it won't have a big cost increase for the end customer, sir.
No, no.
Okay, okay. And there is a question in the chat box, sir. What is the roadmap for our target revenue, 2,500 crores?
3,000 crores is our vision. We will be achieving that by 2030.
Okay.
I've stated that we are working towards that, and all efforts are on to meet that by 2030.
I mean, I think his question is what, I mean, which products will drive that or whatever.
Yeah, so I have said that before, and we have 5 verticals of businesses. All the verticals of businesses have planned growth strategies that are being implemented. Now we are scaling up the execution ability. We are scaling up our R&D ability. We are scaling up our capability in terms of capacity, people. We will have to also invest in new production facility in the next 2 years or so.
Okay, sir. And then on the dealership expansion, see, we wanted to expand our dealership to improve the tractor sales. So where are we in the journey, sir?
Yeah, continuous expansion of dealerships is happening across, especially North India. So last year we added about 40-50 dealers across India. This year we are targeting about 50 to 60 dealers across India. The key focus is to establish each dealer and make them viable, and we will continue continuously doing that. In the SFM space also, we have moved ahead with a counter expansion strategy. Today we are sitting on, we started last quarter. Within 3 months, we have opened more than 500 counters across the country, which is apart from the 750, 800 dealers that we have in SFM. We have added another 500 counters. By the end of this year, we would like to expand the retail counters to about 2,000 counters. So in all areas of SFM, in all areas of tractors, we are expanding coverage through in tractors dealership expansion, and in SFM through both distributor counter expansion as well as dealer expansion.
Okay, sir. I am reading one more question from the chat box, sir. So here in the last calls, we talked about looking at inorganic opportunities. Any shortlisted candidates or due diligence in for inorganic growth?
No, it's too early to say anything at this point, and we will keep you posted as things progress.
Okay. So anybody has any question, please raise your hand. One more question has come. Post the current war uncertainty, could you please provide a 3-year view on export considering the several FTAs that are being signed?
The reality is it's very difficult to predict 3 weeks now. So I mean, to be realistic, because see, if something like 100% tariff comes up on the new bill that is going through the US Congress, now that could be a big trouble in our expansion plans into the US market. So to give me, but what I can give you is a view of Europe. We believe that the Europe market will continue to grow for us. That is why we are expanding into the European market. We are expanding both. Earlier, we were only in Western Europe, that is France, Germany, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Belgium, Netherlands, and UK. Now we are moving into Turkey. We are moving into the Nordics as well, with the hydrostatic transmission product being introduced. So we believe we can continue to grow in the European market. We also believe that we can continue to grow, and which is going to be our huge opportunity, which is going to be the African market, and that will remain an opportunity for a long time. And we are very focused on that. We have started slowly. We were never in the higher horsepower space, but now we have slowly launched the 50 horsepower. We have launched the 75 horsepower, and we are getting good traction in the African market. And I think over the next 3 to 4 years, that will be a major market as well. But the US expansion plan is still unclear.
Okay. Sir, US, we were earlier working with the electric tractor. So because of the current, I mean, tariff and all the other issues, it has taken a backseat now, sir.
Correct, correct. It has definitely taken a backseat, not only for us, across the US market, because there is no emphasis on environment anymore. So the electric market, I think, for now in the US market doesn't seem to be growing.
Okay. Mr. Shreyans has come back again. Please unmute and ask your question.
Yeah, thanks for the follow-up. So I had a question on the Europe market that you mentioned. So, based on the volumes that we do, it seems like it's just like a handful of tractors that we are putting into each country. So I'm just trying to understand, is that still like a very profitable
It is very
way, or is
profitable.
it?
So we do about 1400 to 1500 tractors in Europe. The market leader in India doesn't do any tractor in Europe, and the best of Indian tractor companies in our segment does about 8,000, 9,000 tractors. So 1500 to 2000 tractors that we are doing in Europe is, I think, pretty decent. That is for our segment. And we do about 400 to 500 tractors in markets like Italy, France, and Netherlands, where we do about 300, 400 tractors. But Spain, Portugal, Germany is where we can do more penetration. Then we have not entered the Nordic markets, we have not entered the Balkans, we have not entered Turkey until recently. So all these markets are still an opportunity for us. So we believe that we can grow the way we have grown in markets like France, Italy, and Netherlands.
Okay, okay. So what would be our current share be? Like you mentioned, is the market like 9,000 tractors is what we should consider
In
as?
our segment, it is the highest selling player from India is selling around 9,000 tractors in our segment, which is
Oh, from India.
0 to 30 horsepower.
Okay. So I was saying like more of total sales for 0 to 30 horsepower. Like what would be the market and what would be our share in that?
So let us, I don't have the exact figures of Europe industry right now in front of me, but I can tell you that most of the players from India, like the largest player is doing around 9,000, we are doing around 2,000. There are a couple of players more who are doing around 1,000, 2,000 tractors each. So I would say, from an industry perspective, tractors from India cumulatively in our segment, that is 0 to 30 HP segment, would be around 15,000 odd. So out of that, we do around 2,000.
Okay, okay, understood. And with would the market expand with the new product launches, or are the launches within the 0 to 30 horsepower segment?
So I told you, in Europe we will be in 0 to 30 horsepower, but in Africa we will be going in for up to 75 horsepower.
Okay, okay, understood. Got it. Thank you. That. Thanks for the follow-up.
Yeah, this in the chat box again, there's some more questions on this land. We understand there is no decision yet on land monetization, but how much is the extent of land in Bangalore which can be eventually looked into, and how easy to move to a newer location, the manufacturing lines?
No, there is no need to move to a new location because we have already moved everything outside of Bangalore. So there is no shifting time requirement, nothing. We will be looking at maximizing the value out there, and we believe that we can do it at the right appropriate time. Right now, there is no development. So there is no question of shifting. It's only the administrative office there.
Okay. And then same question. What is the extent of land? Same guy is asking.
19 acres.
Around 19 acres.
Okay, sir. And then on the implements, already you touched upon. So, what are the? I mean, how is that industry developing, and what are we trying to do in the implements, sir?
This is for the, I assume it is for the small farm mechanization that we are
Yeah,
talking.
correct, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. So this industry, the growth is being driven by us. So, and it is growing quite nicely, both in the tiller segment as well as the weeder segment. Now, for several quarters, we have been growing the weeder segment at about 50-60% rate. And I see in the foreseeable future also, I see that growth continuing unless something adverse like monsoon failing completely or something like that happens. But otherwise, it will continue to grow. And we are also getting into expanding our coverage through counters and all of that, increasing our product portfolio in that range. So all these is aiding on our growth, and it will continue to grow. Power tiller segment again will continue to grow at about, in the near future, we will continue to grow at 15 to 20% percentage. And I believe in future there will be more product variants that will be introduced, which will continue to grow these tiller segment as well.
Okay, sir. There are no more questions in the chat box also. Do you want to make any closing comments, sir?
Yeah, so thank you very much and for the call, and look forward to meeting you all in the next call after Q2. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, sir. Thank all the participants.
Thank you.